Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist. Today I'm going to be doing a Photon Galaxy deck profile. Now this deck is a really awesome deck that was probably one of the best decks that came out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Just with how many extra deck monsters that this deck spawned off with all the variants of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that it made. This deck is really amazing. It summons some of the biggest dragons in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And single-handedly is probably one of my top 5 favorite decks of all time. It's actually in my top 5, probably I think top 10 at least. Most viewed deck profiles that I have on my channel. If you guys want to go check those out, definitely go check those out. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight on this and see what we're playing. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell down there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You got to play 3 copies of it. It's the big bad monster itself. Kaito's big monster of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. So basically you can special summon this card from your hand by attributing 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack. And then during your battle phase, if it battles an opponent's monster, you can banish it and the opponent's monster. And then if it banishes an opponent's monster that had XYZ materials, it gains 500 attack for each XYZ material that it banished off of that effect, which is pretty cool. Then we play 3 copies of Photon Orbital. Photon Orbital, you can equip it to a Photon or Galaxy monster, which is pretty cool, and I really love that effect about it. And then it also has the ability that when you do equip it, you can send it to the graveyard to add a Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. It also makes the monster that you equip it with gain 500 attack points, which is not that much, but it does. Then we play 3 copies of Photon Vanisher. Now, Photon Vanisher is really nice. It kind of reminds me of like Bora the Spear in Blackwings in a way, but a little bit better, to be honest with you. If you have a Photon or Galaxy monster on your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. It can attack the turn you activate this effect, but that's not that big of a deal because usually you're going to link it away or XYZ summon it away. But then after you do that, you can add a XYZ, you can add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand, which is really good. And then if it if you XYZ summon a monster using this card, you can banish any monster to destroy a battle with this card, which is really cool. And I really love that effect about it. Then we play 3 copies of Photon Thrasher. Photon Thrasher, basically you just special summon it from your hand if you don't control any monsters. That's the big thing about Photon Thrasher. Then we play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier lets you discard a light monster to special summon this card from your hand. And then you get to add another Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand once it hits the field, but you can only use its effect once per turn of the adding from deck to hand effect. But that's not that big of a deal because usually we're just going to make Infinity off of it anyways, so that's not that big of a deal at all. Then we play 2 copies of Galaxy Brave. Galaxy Brave is a little addition to the deck that I really actually like. Like, I really think it's a good card to be able to play in the deck. But what it does is if it's on the field, if it's in your hand, you can reveal a Photon monster in your hand, special summon it from your hand, and then its level becomes the same level as the Photon monster that you reveal. And if this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can target a Galaxy monster in your grave, and this card's attack and defense becomes the attack and defense of that monster. So, like, it gets really big really fast. Like, and it's just a really good card. So I think it's a good 2-of that I will definitely always probably play it too. Then we play 3 copies of Galaxy Knight. You get to normal summon this card without tributing, and it loses 1,000 attack. But when you do, you get to special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your graveyard if possible, in defense position. But it still loses the attack regardless. But that's not that big of a deal because you're usually going to overlay with it anyways or link it away. So then I play 1 copy of Galaxy Cleric. It's kind of like Pot of Avarice in a way. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Galaxy Photon or Galaxy monster that's an XYZ monster and equip it, attach it as material, which I sometimes do. And if it's normal or special summon, you can target 5 Photon and or Galaxy monsters or Galaxy cards in your graveyard with different names and shuffle them into the deck. And if you do, draw 2 cards. So like, it's a really busted good card for that ability. So it just like resets the grave. Then we play 1 copy of Galaxy Wizard. I actually bumped it down to 1. Like, I didn't think I was going to do it, but I did. And I'm not upset about it being at 1. Once per turn, you can increase its level by 4 to make it an 8. And then you can tribute it to add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand. But like, you're wasting your normal summon on it, and it just becomes level 8. So, like, it's hard to, like, justify any more than 1 to me. Maybe 2. Like, I have more of them sitting off to the side. I actually cut them from the deck not too long ago. Like, I have the other 2 sitting off to the side. I couldn't justify it, because I kept normal summoning. I kept drawing, like, 2 or 3 of them, or 2 of them in my hand. I was like, I can't do anything with this, except discard it with Galaxy Soldier. So I just dropped it down to 1, and it works perfect. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Galaxy Zero. Galaxy Zero is like Foolish Burial in a way. You get to target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard and special summon in an attack position and equip it with this card. It can attack or activate its effects, and if it would be destroyed, during the battle phase, you can destroy this card instead. And when this card leaves the field, the equipped monster's attack becomes 0. So it's okay. But, like, Monster Reborn's better, so that's why I only played it as 1 of, and it's searchable anyway, so that's why I'm not that worried about it. Then we play 3 copies of Trade-In, because we play so many level 8s in this deck that it's so easy to just draw off of Trade-In. 3 copies of Photon Sanctuary. We play the 3 Photon Sanctuaries because you can just special summon 2 tokens and link them away to summon our Soul Flare Dragon, which is the main monster we're going to be summoning all the time in this deck, as the Link monster. 3 copies of Galaxy Expedition. Galaxy Expedition is just an awesome card in this deck. If you control a level 5 or higher Photon and or Galaxy monster, you can special summon a level 5 or higher Photon Galaxy monster from your deck and face up to mid's position. So it just special summons out Brave or Galaxy. Usually I'm summoning Galaxy as Photon Dragon off of this effect and getting multiple summons off of it, which is just really, really good. Then we play, I only played 2 copies of Galaxy Trance. What it does is you pay 2,000 life points and then target a Galaxy monster in your grave, or 1 Photon monster in your grave and special summon it, and then special summon 1 Galaxy monster from your deck. So the special summons a Galaxy and then a Photon, which is really, really good. Like, it even shows you what you're supposed to do on the card. Like, you special summon out Photon Thrasher and Galaxy Wizard, and then you link them away to summon Soul Flare. Like, it literally shows you the instructions on the card. Like, it's amazing. And then each monster's attack becomes 2,000, and also their effects are negated. You can only activate 1 of it per turn. You can't special summon or normal summon, or you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card except Photon and or Galaxy monsters, which we don't play anything in the deck but Photon or Galaxy, so it's not that big of a deal anyways. Monster Reborn is here because it's Monster Reborn, and you can bring back literally any of your monsters. And then we play 3 copies of Call by the Grave because you need to stop hand traps. Like, it's just so important to stop hand traps in this deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. I love this deck so much. Like, I don't know if you can tell, like, usually I, like, kind of go through my deck profiles. I'm a little bit slower, but, like, I know this deck inside and out. And that's why I go through it so quickly. So let me play 2 copies of Tachyon Transmigration. Tachyon Transmigration, if you control a Galaxy Eyes monsters, you negate the activation of your opponent's spell trap or monster effect that activated every single one that activates before it in this chain. So, like, if your opponent activates, like, for instance, you activate, like, a hand trap, and then they activate Call by the Grave, and then you chain this, it negates their Call by the Grave. Or if they activate a hand trap, you activate Call by the Grave, they activate something else, and then you chain this as the 4th chain link, it negates both their previous cards, which is really, really good. And then also, you can shuffle this card into the deck. You shuffle the negated cards into the deck, and if you control Galaxy as Tachyon Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand, which is really, really busted, and I really love that effect. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm going to actually be playing 2 copies of number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Is the big beat stick of the deck. If it's on the field, and it attacks or is attacked during damage calculation, you can detach a material from this card, and then once per battle, it gains attack equal to the combined original ranks of all XYZ monsters currently on the field times 200. So it's automatically going to gain 1600 attack off its own level. So it goes up to 56, and then if you have multiple XYZ monsters, it's going to go up even more. Usually I'm going to have 2 rank 8s on the field, so it's going to go up a grand total of 32 to go up to 72, which is pretty big. And then if it's destroyed in its owner's possession by card effect while it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as XYZ material, you can special summon this card during your next second standby phase after activation and double its attack, and then any battle damage inflicted to your opponent is halved unless it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. But it comes back as an 8k beat stick, which is just big for no reason. Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, it just kind of takes your opponent's monsters. That's pretty much what I do with it a lot. Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy, I negate spells and traps. Usually I make this in number 62 a lot. For the other ones that we overlay on top is Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon. It pops monsters. Dark Matter Dragon, we send a bunch of Galaxy Eyes monsters from deck to grave, and it can attack multiple times, or dragon monsters to grave. Ciphered Blade Dragon, you just make it on top of your Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Basically, I usually either make this and 38 or this and 62. Like, it just depends on the field that I want to set up. But if it has a Photon monster as material, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and you can use it either of its effects once per turn. Its effect is that when an opponent's monster is activated effects, you can detach material from this card and negate the monster's effect. And then if the detached material was a Galaxy Eyes, destroy that card. And then during your opponent's turn, you can take a Galaxy Eyes or Galaxy or Photon monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the grave or attach it to material. So it's just really good to be able to just activate and just keep attaching different stuff that you need to it. Then we play Star Leash Photon Blast Dragon as a one-of. I just feel like it's a good one-of in this deck because I don't need that many copies of it. Then I play Cyber Dragon Nova and Infinity for the extra negates with Galaxy Soldier. And then for my only 3 Link monsters, I play 3 copies of Soul Flare Dragon. Like, I don't feel like I need anything else in this deck. Like, you have all of this big stuff. So you just summon this and get all the rank 8s that you need, and you're just like, okay, I won. Like, I'm gonna swing. I got a shield here, I got swords over here, and I've got negates there. Like, that's all I need. If this card is Link Summon, you get to target a Galaxy or Photon or Galaxy monster in your grave and add it back to your hand. Really good effect. And during your main phase, you can discard a Photon or Galaxy monster, or discard a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to special summon one monster from, target one special summon monster your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only activate its effect once per turn, but I usually make this all the time. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's really fun, like really, really, really fun to play this deck. It's a really good deck. I know you probably noticed, but I'm not playing Excel Light. I feel like it's not that good anymore because you have to control no monsters to special summon it or to activate the effect, so I don't play it, and it's not searchable. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below, and tell me what other decks you guys would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the bell so you can see all my latest deck profiles too. So see you around, guys.